As you all know, LCX is the company I founded 2018. It's a regulated cryptocurrency and blockchain platform. We gained 9 registrations according to the blockchain law in Liechtenstein. We're proud to lead over there. Recently we had a workshop at LCX. We brought the whole team together, which was exciting to see all of them face to face. So we're now more than 70 people, getting like a room bigger than this. And I introduced key new things for our company culture, key elements. And I'd like to tell you these 3 key elements. The first one is integrity. Integrity is important for us as a regulated entity in driving the future of blockchain, because it's all about doing the right thing when nobody is watching. Second is excellence. We drive for digital excellence to deliver a product everybody loves, everybody uses. And last but not least, unity. We often say it's the LCX family, and you're not part of this LCX family. It's about getting people together, getting a community together. Today, I have the honor to launch this book, Blockchain Banking, the Future of Money and Finance. And it consists of 4 key blocks. The first one is about Internet of Value and Web3. It always starts with a quote. So this one is from me, which says, "Blockchain is to the money what email was to the letter." And that's the first block of this book. It's all about the technology behind why it's so disruptive and why it won't go away. It will stay similar to the introduction of email. Second block is redefining banking as we know it. And there's another quote, this time from Bill Gates, which he said in 1994 already. And it's, "Banking is necessary, but banks are not." And that's true if you look at DeFi, decentralized finance, stable coins maybe. A lot of these things are happening even without banks being involved. The third block is blockchain banking in practice. And there's a quote from William Gibson, the author, which says, "The future is already here, it's just not widely distributed yet." So we can explore blockchain banking in the field right now already. It's here, it's out there, but we're still in the early days. We have not reached billions of users. But this is going to happen in the next decade, and I'm super excited to be part of that. And last but not least, I'm looking into the future, Outlook, and I'm quoting Captain of Star Trek from USS Enterprise, Jean-Luc Picard, who said, "You see, money doesn't exist in the 24th century." So we'll see how money will evolve over the time. And I am very excited to welcome 2 of our advisors and partners and friends, longtime colleagues of us here who can dive into this topic much, much more. And first I'd like to hand over to a longtime friend, Don Tapscott. Please give a big welcome, round of applause for Don.
Well, thanks so much, Monty. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm very happy and comfortable to be speaking on this stage, as it were, because I think LCX is an organization that has a lot of potential to be transformative. Monty, you said the word integrity. This is a big word for me, and it's very pertinent to today, because integrity is the foundation of trust. I wrote a book about transparency, and I ended up thinking this is all about trust, and it took me 3 months to figure out what is trust. I mean, could you say what is trust in a sentence or 2? Here's my 3 months of work, okay? Mark Twain, I'm sorry I wrote such a long letter. I didn't have time to write a short letter. To me, trust, at least in business, is the expectation that the other parties will act with integrity. Trust is the expectation that the other party will do the right thing, and integrity is about being honest, it's about being considerate of the interests of the other party, and it's about abiding by your commitments. So what if there were not just an internet of information? What if there were an internet of value, some kind of vast global distributed ledger where anything of value, from money to securities to art, can be managed, stored, transacted in a secure and private way, peer-to-peer. Well, that's what Satoshi cracked, the double spend problem. It's the biggest innovation in computer science in a generation. And bankers are waking up because they're the middlemen. And they're vulnerable to be disintermediated. The smart ones understand that the re-intermediation opportunities are probably bigger than the danger. But we spend a lot of time. What do banks do? They do 9 things. I'm not going to go through them all at a cocktail party. But all of those things can be done by software. This is not fintech. Fintech is a new coat of paint on the wall of the old financial system. DeFi is replacing everything the banks do with software. Now that's not going to happen, but there's a big period of disruption that we're entering into. What do banks do? Well, they move value, money, stocks, whatever. Well, you move that onto a network and there's no 3-day settlement period because the payment and the settlement's the same thing. It's just a change to the ledger, right? And there's no 4 to 7 days, and there's no 12% fee. It should be just as easy for our housekeeper to send money to the Philippines as it is to text her mom. And it's a time of unbelievable disruption. Now, there are many, many challenges in making this happen, and I'm not going to go into those now, but I will give a shout out to Monty and the team for having the courage and also the integrity to try and do this right, and to try and create a platform that, you know, is built to last and is going to help solve the problem of the current financial industry and all the enormous amount of value that it sucks out of our economy. So, and maybe if we do that and a whole bunch of others get together, this more decentralized and I don't know, smaller world that my grandchildren inherit might actually be a better one. So, thanks very much.
I've been an entrepreneur since school time. So I started my first internet company in 1998, programming websites. So since then I've been hooked with digital. But when I first came across Wikipedia, I realized there's something different there. And how we describe working with Jimmy is really, he's the community whisperer. So there are a lot of things where we can learn how to build a community, and that's more important in crypto and blockchain than ever. So handing over to you, Jimmy. Thanks for coming.
Very good, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I've got basically 3 main points that I want to make. I'm going to do them in kind of a chronological story arc. So I'm old.
Not alone.
Yeah, and I lived through the dot-com boom and the dot-com crash. And during the dot-com boom, there was a massive community of technologists, computer programmers, but also content creators, all these kinds of things. And it was this enormous, very exciting time where there was just amazing new ideas and innovation were going on left and right. And that led into, in the dot-com boom, a lot of things that were really, really, really stupid. And in the boom, things got huge amounts of investment money that shouldn't have. And then we came to the dot-com crash when a lot of stuff died that actually deserved to die. So we have just been through, and I'm not predicting the bottom just yet, nobody can predict a bottom, but we've been through this sort of blockchain, incredible bubble, incredible boom, when a lot of things were invested in that were really stupid ideas, a lot of people raised money, and a lot of things are now dying that deserve to die. And that is very reminiscent to me, that sort of boom and bust cycle to where we are now. So I think a lot of people look at the blockchain world and cryptocurrency world today and say, oh, it's a disaster and it's all over and what a bunch of scam that all was. Just like people thought the internet was, in general, and the web in particular. So there was that sort of cycle that we went through that was, kind of important. But born out of that was Wikipedia, which was really a child, I would say, argue, of the dot-com crash. It was sort of founded in the beginnings, it was still dot-com boom times, but as it began to grow, we were in the crash times. And so at the moment when Wikipedia was starting to explode and I could have potentially raised money, it was impossible to raise money. Everything was a disaster and there was no money to be raised. But actually the most innovative things happened in that tough time, in that recessionary time. But we're also talking about money. Not just sort of people typing stuff on the internet, but this is actually real money. And what we're seeing is that the Wild West approach, things like FTX quite famously exploding recently, shows you the real flaw of not entering into things in the right way, and having a structured framework, having regulations, having all of this, so that you can build a culture of trust, transparency, integrity, and so forth. And so I think this is a time when LCX, and probably there are other products, I know Monty, so I know LCX, but I think we're going to begin to see now the next phases, the next things that will happen, where it isn't going to be just some young kids just created something and it boomed up. It's going to be actually real business cases, real use cases, and solid, transparent, honest, regulated, and so on. So it's exciting to be here, exciting to sort of be invited to take a part in this. So, great.
Thank you. Thanks, Jamie. So I think very important point, integrity, trust, also some technology trends. But coming back to this unity of us, we are here with the LCX family, and for us the goal is really to build the next category leader in blockchain, crypto, bridging traditional finance and this new innovation. And with that, I'd like to invite you to go out and let's bring LCX to 1 billion users and really grow to outside of this room. So I'd like to thank my speakers here. And Don, thank you very much for coming. Jimmy, great thoughts, and thank you all for coming. There's a lot of food, and we have plenty of books here in the back. Grab one, read it, give me feedback, send me an email. Thanks for coming.